Grief girls, grief girls.
I'm Tamara, and I'm here with my new BFF, Paula. Paula, say hi.
Hello.
And we are doing our first intro to a podcast series that we're going to be doing here at From Mine It Missed. And it is called Grief Girls. And it's called Grief Girls because we both have been on our journeys of grief after losing our husbands. And we're going to try to create this beautiful podcast to help inspire other people to work through their grief and look for the positive side of what can happen when you suffer. And, for us, it's sort of God's intention of how to step into, life in a new way and really lean into his love. And we, through our grief, which have been traumatic and awful and unimaginable, we have found each other and we have created this beautiful support group here at Mine It Missed, and we are finding joy in our lives again. And so I think, Paula, how did we want to start this? Do you want to start?
Well, I want to add on to that is when we talk about this a lot, you and I talk about this a lot, and when we're trying to introduce it to our fellow partners in grief, is that we're not going to get over it, but we have to learn to walk with it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, it's another extension of us. It's another, it's not something that goes away. Your whole life is completely blown up, and it's not something that heals. You have to just learn to cohabitate with it, which sounds crazy, but you do. You have to learn to live with the person that's gone, because you're still living with them, all your dreams and your hopes, and you're living with the memories. You're living with remorse. You're living with you're grieving the future, the past, the present. So that's really important to learn with each other how to walk along with it. But we're going to go into today about how we met and how important people become to you that you didn't even realize were going to be so important in your life. Mm-hmm. So we have a mutual friend.
Yeah.
And a friend that was actually my husband's friend.
Right.
And then you met her through...
I just walked into a shop one day. I need to buy a bike.
Yeah.
And I kept buying more and more bikes from her, but yeah.
Yeah. And for them, and we also talk about how some people in your grief, the ones you think would be there, disappear. Mm-hmm. The ones that...
They're terrified of what we're going through. They don't want to be us.
No.
And they can't face it. They can't face that fear, and they have to just shut that door.
Totally. And then you have friends that, like our friend, we can say Beth. Can I say Beth?
Yeah, we can say Beth.
Stepped well beyond, over and above.
Over and above.
Over and above. And every day, like I hear from Beth almost every day.
Yeah.
We go to Mass, we have coffee. We don't just talk about me, we talk about her, we talk about all life's challenges. And that you met her through that, and then she put us together. Mm-hmm. And then
I gotta tell my chicken story, like how she came into my life through my grief, because she came, right? So I think my chicken story is kind of funny.
Oh, yeah, because you thought she was a different Beth, right? You didn't even know she was coming.
Oh, my gosh. I had this wonderful network of friends and just bringing meals to my family after my husband passed. And anyway, there was all kinds of creative food coming through the door. And Beth texted me, and I thought it was my neighbor, Beth, who's actually a better friend of mine. And she's like, I want to bring dinner to you. What would you like? I'm like, can you just bring me a baked chicken and some vegetables? I'm like craving just something basic. And so
clean.
Next thing I know, like later that day, Beth, the bike Beth, shows up at my door, and I was just in hysterics. I felt embarrassed because I was so bold with like, just bring me a chicken, And she came in and we just laughed about the story, and she stayed for hours, and she gave me a few other gifts, because she gave me the podcast, The Chosen, which was something that helped me go to sleep at night, ironically, because it's very moving and it makes you really thoughtful and whatnot. But going to bed, Paula, right, is a hard thing to do every day, even that you're knockout tired, you just can't go to sleep. But she gave me that, and she gave me the friendship that, like with you, Paula, she would check in with me, And she always seemed to know when it was the right time to text me when I needed that lift. So yeah, I'm so grateful for Beth for bringing us
Yeah.
together.
She's so unselfish with her time,
Mm-hmm.
and her heart is so open to it. And she also gave me The Chosen, which is funny because a good friend of mine from Boston Public, Arlene, initially gave me that years ago, and I wasn't really in that mindset because my husband was alive. But it's funny how it circled back. But
Mm-hmm.
it's a comforting show.
Yeah,
At the same time, it's devastating because there's so many times that you cry during the
I
show.
know. It just moves you emotionally, right?
But
You
it
can
all makes
yeah,
sense.
you can feel the pain.
Absolutely.
You really feel it,
Yeah.
right? I really feel that pain.
Yeah. So we should call her Bike Beth. 'Cause she does have a really good bike store in her house, which she's really good at. She's a professional, and she has her own group of people that she's always helped through biking, and
Yeah.
so it's amazing because she was Jeff's friend, and we're always good friends, but I mean now we've become really she's at a lifeline like here.
Yeah.
And then when we had our first meeting here that you arranged at
Yeah.
the House on the Rock,
Yeah.
there were more people that knew her, sort of.
Yeah. She
or-
brought a lot of
yeah.
people together.
6 degrees of separation,
Yeah.
right? And we're all walking wounded. That's what we are. We're just
Yeah.
all walking alongside each other
Yeah.
and not realizing, because we all walked in that underwater feeling. That's what I had for months.
Mhm.
And how do all these people just continue doing their life?
Right.
They're
The
just
world continues on. The sun comes up every day, Paula.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm like, how can you
Yeah.
laugh? How can you talk? How can you plan a vacation?
Yeah. How can you leave your house?
How can you leave your exactly?
I mean,
You
I
really
really
isolate.
didn't leave my house much in the beginning because I didn't have to. People were bringing me food. My
Yep.
parents kind of had moved in, and I just would leave to go to my kids' events, and
Yep.
that was pretty much it.
And I don't
And-
know about you, but for me, leaving the house meant having to come back to the house.
Yeah.
And having to come back to the house and not have Jeff there was just,
Yeah.
and to the first time you pick up your phone and not able to call him.
Yeah.
I'm sure you called your husband, 12 times a day
Right.
with the kids or this or that, or
Yeah.
that was really hard to do, is
Mhm.
not have that. So to come home, if you don't leave, you don't have to come home to that.
Yeah. I don't know that I faced that so much with the in and outs of my house, but I faced that with coming back from trips. You know, like I expected him. I'm just away with my friends or the kids, and I'm coming back, and
Mhm.
Mike's going to be there when I get home, and he
Mhm.
wasn't. And
Ugh,
super, super devastating to me.
every time.
Yeah. Yep. Really, really
Yeah.
crazy. So we want to talk about like why we're doing, like what the purpose of this podcast is for you, to see if you want, to engage with us and listen to this. This is just sort of an intro, kind of
Mhm.
introducing us. And we want to do this podcast because we want to build a community and let you know that you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
And we do it physically here at Mind at Miss, where we have a monthly meeting, and we know not everybody can come to that. We do hope that people can start their own grief inspiration and grief groups, because it's not that hard to do. You need a friend. I think it's really hard to do by yourself.
Mm.
And I chose Paula,
Mm.
and I chose her. I have to tell you, I chose her.
Poor
'cause she's-
thing. Glutton for punishment.
Nope. She's hilarious.
Yeah.
And so everybody needs laughter in their lives. So I think I chose the right person in bringing Paula in. And I love her spirituality too. And I think that was, important to me to have that part of the group, have that undertone, because that allows for hope, and it allows for a continuation in relationship in heaven with the person that you miss with your whole heart and soul. And so we hope that if you listen to this podcast, you're listening to it to soften the pain, to create hope and inspiration in your lives. And then, God willing, if you are ever able to, to do what we're doing, and spread the love by offering a safe community where people can come and join you and walk through the grief with you. Because, Paula, we can tell them so many stories about people who just don't really understand why we haven't, the year went by, or, aren't you over it yet? All those crazy comments that we hear in our life. And it's not like that.
No.
You lose your soulmate, you lose your best friend, you lose someone that you live with, or you knew half your life or more. And it's devastation. And you don't get married and walk down the aisle thinking about the death. Do you part?
No.
You think about the life.
You always think you're going to go together.
Yeah.
The ultimate goal.
I mean,
And how about this? And I don't think people realize this either, but what about the person what gets me the most is that people want me to be the person I was when Jeff was here.
Yeah.
I'm not that person anymore.
No.
And that alone, realizing that on your own first, and then try to get that across to other people.
Yeah.
They want you just to be who you were before.
Right.
That person's gone.
Right.
That part of me's gone. So I'm growing a new limb now.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I without him?
Right.
And not that I was not an individual before, but when you build a life with someone, you're always including them. You know, your dreams, your hopes, your problems, you know. Like we talked about the first time you go to the doctor's on your own, have a procedure, and they're not in the waiting room for you.
Right.
And so all of a sudden you're like another version of yourself that you have to reinvent.
Right.
On top of grieve, on top of you still have children. Not all of us, but most of us have children in our family.
Yeah.
Still have to work.
Right.
You still have to run a household.
Oh, you take on all those extra things that they used
everything.
to. Yeah.
And then people want you to be who you were, and you're like, well, I'm not that person anymore.
No.
And that's where my faith part comes in, because so think about yourself, Tim, your age, your kid's age, you know, your life, rich, full life.
Right.
So why, and this might get too deep for the first time, but so why does God want us both to go on to the next level? Because we wouldn't be doing this.
No, we wouldn't be doing this.
We wouldn't be doing this. We would do.
What would we be doing right now?
I wouldn't be working as much. You know, I would be maybe traveling more. And as an artist and stuff, I think I would be doing less of my artwork and more of just sharing life with Jeff. But he has put us here in this position for something bigger.
Right.
We're not finished. We need to, and what a waste it would be if we didn't take the opportunity to help others.
Right.
Help, you know, solve it's isolation. Whether you're in a crowd or not, you're still isolated.
Right.
Because, you know, you're at that first party. I remember you telling me the first time you had to go to a party.
Oh, I ran out crying.
Yeah, same here.
I ran out crying. I mean, I was with my daughter, and I was with one of my best friends who came with me, and I just couldn't take it one more second. I just like, Wendy, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I might tell Ava, I just have to go.
First Christmas Eve, I couldn't even at a family party. I'm going home. I don't even want to do this. How can you even be laughing? How can you be talking? How can you even move?
Yeah.
You know? So those are things. So you don't want to isolate, but you do.
Yeah, it's so hard. It's so hard to say yes, but right. But the yes is important. We've found in life, like you have to. That first year is the foggy time of life. So if you're stepping into this and it's you're fresh in your grief,
raw
in your grief. I mean, people don't necessarily want to hear time heals, but there's something about time that you do get stronger. I promise you, you will get stronger. But I think the point of this, you know, also the point of the podcast is, you know, aside from trying to help people, like, know that there's community out there for you, know that you are going to be okay, is to know that, you know, when you, I'm going to say, prayers are powerful. So this is something that my friend Susie gave me. Prayers are powerful. Tamara, can you pray for somebody? And she'd give me someone to pray for. And it would take my mind off myself into somebody else. And I say that only because I think the work that, not the work, but just this mission that we're doing with our support group, with this podcast, is not just helping people that are listening, perhaps. But Paula, don't you think how much this helps us to be doing this? Like it's you mentioned God's intention, right? So I think, and how is it changing us? And, you know, you have a new limb growing, you said, but God's intention of suffering, right? Is there an intention of suffering? Does God want us to suffer? No, but there is suffering in life. There's, you know, there's life, there's death, there's going to be suffering, right? So God's intention, I think, in suffering is just this. It allows for opportunity of acts of kindness for others on us, which bring us to our knees and tears, because it's just unbelievable, the kindness that has come our way, right? So it's opportunity for showing kindness, but for us even to be able to help one person, right? It is cliche, but it's absolutely true, right?
Yeah, it builds back your heart.
It does. It just, if something happens to your heart, and we talked about that, your heart gets blown up with the grief, and it opens up wide, and it gets filled up with something that I've never even imagined how my heart's been filled up with. The people that have stepped in my life, the acts of kindness, the love, the new friendship. You know, I miss Mike with every ounce of my being. You know, he passed over about 3.5 years ago. You know, I can't even believe it. Like, how am I here, Paula? You know, I don't know.
No.
Grief can feel overwhelming and often very lonely. If you're navigating the loss of your spouse, we invite you to join our support and inspiration group in Situate. Massachusetts. We meet every second Thursday of the month from 7 to 8:30 at 344 Gannett Road.
And think it back too, like when you say the kindness of others, and I think
Mm.
back about my kids, and they were 19 when it started and 20 when he passed, and I was blown away. I live in Hanover, and my kids were so lucky. I just remember them walking, and they were never alone. Their group of friends carried them
Yeah.
like they were like a robin's egg in a
So
nest.
beautiful.
And every single kid showed up at that wake all dressed up and beautiful and respectful, and
Yeah.
it was such a tribute to the kids and to the parents, and that these kids were so aware and sensitive for other kids' pain.
Right.
And
It changes everybody around you, not just your kids.
Yeah.
It changes all those friendships and that awareness and
yeah,
that.
and appreciation,
Appreciation,
the new appreciation
gratitude.
for,
Mhm.
like we kid about some couples that complain about crummies on the counter or their shoes are in the wrong place, and I don't know that we had that kind of relationship, you and I, but some people do have that. But just the small things of like, those things don't matter.
No,
Those don't matter.
the trivial little
And-
things that you miss.
Yeah, that you miss, or you.
Yeah, please leave your shoes on when you come in the house.
I know, or just like, we were talking earlier about the little things, like we're jumping around here, but the holding hands, the hugs. I mean, think about hugs. Like people take hugs for granted.
Yeah, miss that.
I miss hugs. I
Just
miss,
burying my head in his chest.
yeah, the
Just
safety.
the strength, the safety.
And then going back to that new limb. So, okay, now, we have our meltdowns, and like I said, we'll get into these in different podcasts, but, and I'll never forget your Christmas tree story. And I have things like, the burner went, kapooey. I had to get that. Like everything went the first year. The burner went, and the oil tank went.
AC
and I was
in my house.
yeah,
AC.
just
Big one.
cursing Jeff up and down, like you.
F you
Whatever.
for dying.
Exactly.
F
I'm
you
so
for
mad at
dying.
you.
Yeah.
And then when the little things, and you go, oh, I can do that.
Mhm.
And so that's that new limb.
Empowerment.
And, you're reinventing yourself.
Yeah.
And then there's the bitter side of that. Well, I was really bad about, I want my old life back. I didn't ask for this life.
Right.
Why do I have to get a new life? There was nothing wrong with my life.
Right.
And if I know you well enough at all, I would say you had appreciation for your life.
Yeah.
I knew it every day
Yeah.
that this was awesome.
I thank
used to
God
say
every
it.
day. And I would pray for a long and meaningful life for my whole
Yeah.
family every single night.
So happy.
yeah, so happy.
So why?
Right.
So I was in the bitter bond.
Yeah.
I'm less bitter now, but I still have my days, obviously, as you know. But
We love Paula.
when I come in, have a fit of rage.
The boys know to scurry.
Oh yeah, everyone just goes on to hit the deck. But like we were saying, it's just it's those little teeny things, and just like the sound of Jeff breathing beside me, the wink across the room, teeny things like that. But we have a new appreciation for relationships, for time on Earth, for our ability. So let's talk about our ability. You have the ability. You're essential to Mind at Mist. And you found that to be your niche. I've been an art teacher for years and a struggling artist for years. And now I'm like putting that into, it's got a new growth. It's a new part of my being. And it's going in all these different directions.
Yeah.
But only through Jeff's passing, through Beth, through Tam. Then we got to meet Emma and Mark, who were just on their own.
Yeah.
Well, someday we'll talk about Emma and Mark.
I know.
But they're amazing.
Yeah.
And then,
Emma's like my Beth. Emma's like your Beth, I should say to you, the way that she checks in with me all the time.
And she's so deep.
I didn't even know her really. She's like the wife of a friend of mine, and she just showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, just showed up.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so a daily appreciation for things. And then like you talk about the spiritual end of it, like I've always felt the power of prayer. I've always been very close to the other side, my grandmother, my mother, my father on the other side. And but I know, and we've talked about this, that the power of prayer is so real. I've had divine intervention since Jeff has passed.
Yeah. We should talk about that for one of the podcasts to go into all the signs, because the signs are something I have to say, for if people don't know about this, like there's a veil between heaven and earth, and that veil is very thin, and there is a way to continue on with a different relationship, and there can be communication still and the love. So it's just allowing that and looking for it and seeing it and believing it is all that we can get. So it helps, Paula, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Paula, your stories are amazing because I think Jeff comes to you a lot more than Mike comes to me. But I think that when it does happen, it just means it's so meaningful. And
it's few and far between. But again, you have to be aware, you have to look for it, and you have to train yourself and teach yourself to communicate like you do in a new job or when you go to school or it's another form of communication that you have to be really open to.
Yeah. So if you listen to these podcasts, you'll hear our amazing stories about that veil, about the signs that were presented. We've got some really pretty beautiful stories to share with that. You're not alone. We're here for you. And if there's anything else we want to say before we wrap up, Paula?
Just that I'm in a newfound state of gratefulness. I was before, but now I have a greater appreciation for my life, my people, my parents, my ability, my children, my friends, and the life I have with Jeff. And I wouldn't give it up and change it. No. I wouldn't change it.
We have to say that we were both blessed with having that love that not everybody gets in life. So we're very grateful for that. And right, so you wouldn't trade the pain away for having that love. So we'd rather have the love and have the pain than not have any of it.
Yeah, and we talked about the pain that we have is equal to the love we shared.
Right.
So if it wasn't, to me, the pain is as painful as much as I loved him.
Yeah.
If I'm saying it the right way, as much as I loved him and I loved him dearly, that's how great and that's how much pain I have.
Right.
As in if you could have 2 cups.
Right.
2 cups of pain, 2 cups of love, it's equal.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we hope that you will continue to look for a podcast if there's something that you find is going to help you in life and help you find some community to know you're not alone, that the emotions that you feel are all real, and you need to seek out people that don't get bored with your grief, Paula, right?
That's for sure. And it happens.
Yeah. But anyway.
They don't mean it, but it happens.
They're just afraid, right? They're just afraid. So maybe,
awesome.
So we hope that you'll listen in again, and thanks for chiming in today.
I don't know why God always takes the good ones first. And man, I've tried to be strong and carry on, but damn, this hurts. And I just wish that I could talk to you again somehow, some way, even if it's for a moment, so I can hear you say, don't cry for me, I'm alright. Yeah, I'm better than you know. And this life can be a shorter ride, so don't waste it on sorrow. And just hold on to those moments and the memories we shared. We're both headed for the same place anyway. I just beat you there. I know they say, just give it a little time, you'll be okay. That might be true. It don't really help me today. And we ain't supposed to question the man upstairs, 'cause there's just so much I don't understand. It just don't seem fair. Don't cry for me, I'm alright. I'm better than you know. And this life can be short. I just beat you there. And as each day goes by, I get a little bit stronger. But that don't stop me from wishing you were here a little bit longer. When I think of you, like I know you'd want me to. And I know you're watching over me in everything I do. And all those things I never got to say, well, I'll send them with this prayer. Then look up, wipe my tears and raise my beer. And I'll see you there.